We've sold right now. I've covered 26 states, including Hawaii.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
aiming for 50.
Yeah, that's a great goal. I love that. It makes it kind of fun too.
But we do a lot of the local craft fairs. I do the New England Pet Expo. That's one of my biggest sellers. With the personality and talking, it's easy.
Welcome to the Wear, Wag, Repeat podcast. I'm Tori Mystic. As a dog mom lifestyle expert, blogger, and business owner, I love talking to other women in the pet industry and sharing their advice with you every week. Sit, stay, and listen to the latest episode. In this episode, I'm talking to a small business owner who had a problem and created a product to solve it. It sounds pretty simple, but that's what sets entrepreneurs apart from everyone else. We see a problem and we have to solve it. That's how Liza Fisher-Munroe thinks too. In this interview, Liza shares her experience selling her dog mom focused products at local markets and through her online store via Instagram. She's passionate about supporting other women through cottage sewing programs and fabric makers on Etsy, and shares why it's important to have relationships with your suppliers. Another great takeaway from this conversation is to have fun with your goal setting. Maybe you want to join Liza in her goal of having a customer in all 50 states. Speaking of goal setting and women supporting women, are you a member of the Wear, Wag, Repeat Labs Facebook group? Go to Facebook and search for Wear, Wag, Repeat Labs. I call it a lab because it's a special place where we can learn, experiment, and investigate ideas to grow your pet industry business. The women of Wear, Wag, Repeat Labs are here to help you with creative ideas, goal setting, and their best Instagram tips. Head over to Facebook and request to join the group today. Meet Liza Fisher-Munroe. She's the Pop Company's CEO, creative director, designer, seamstress. Heck, she does it all from her cozy workshop in Birch Harbor, Maine. Liza was born in Argentina, raised in New Hampshire, and spent quite a bit of time with her mother's family in NYC, which sparked her passion for the arts. She dabbles in silversmithing, stained glass, knitting, photography, and design. But it was her sewing skills and business savvy that helped her build Pop. Liza's Maltese and Yorkie mix, Harley, inspired her to create the original purse of pockets, aka Pop. Harley is a therapy dog, and the two often traveled to visit hospitals and nursing homes. Liza was frustrated by juggling two bags along on every trip. She had the idea to create one bag that could hold it all. There's pockets for everything, including poop bags, treats, and your car keys. Suddenly, Liza had a business on her hands. Through Pop, Liza supports other small USA-based businesses and uses sustainably produced organic waxed cotton canvas that makes her bags last a lifetime. Ever the animal lover, Liza donates 1% of her profits to her local animal shelter. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you, Tori.
I'm really excited to talk with you. This is our first time speaking, but I can just tell from your photos that you have like an extra sized personality.
I do. I'm a hairdresser as well, so we come with them.
Well, then you know how to talk if you're a hairdresser, so this is going to be a good interview.
Yes, thank you.
So tell us about your therapy dog visits with Harley, who's a Morkie, and those visits inspired you to create the Pop bag. What was happening on those visits before you created this bag?
Well, I had a friend that had a stroke, and she was in the hospital for a long time. So I would always travel with having my purse and the dog's purse, basically. And I came up with, in a snowstorm in the middle of the winter in Maine, decided to create a bag that would carry all our stuff together. And I used my purse, my Pop bag, as an everyday purse. But it has a poopy bag, the emergency leash. And because of that, I started taking Harley to therapy classes to get certified because I saw how much joy we'd go visit other people in the hospital other than my friend.
Yeah, that's so wonderful. My one of my dogs is a therapy dog as well. And I when I take my dogs out, I usually wear a fanny pack just to hold their stuff and so that I can be like hands free kind of. But the problem is that like, there's nowhere to put a water bottle, or when I have the collapsible water bowl and I put it back in, it's wet and it gets everything wet. So the bag that you created has how many different pockets? I know there's a lot of pockets.
There's a lot of pockets. There's 8 outside, 8 inside.
Oh, nice. So you can
Yes,
keep your wet water bowl away from the treats and
exactly.
everything so it doesn't all get messed up.
Exactly. Exactly.
And did you start making this bag yourself?
Yes. Like I said, in the middle of a snowstorm, I got the sewing machine out and my husband's like, "Really? What you doing up there?" And so from that was 2.5 years ago, I kept creating and coming up with the perfect idea. We started with snaps. We now have zippers. Now in with the now we're working with organic leather, vegan leather. Excuse
Yeah.
me. So it just keeps evolving as we go.
Well, and what I think is so interesting in all the people I've interviewed, over 100 people on this show so far, all women, is like what sets an entrepreneur apart is that you took an idea and instead of just making it for yourself, you decided to make it a business. So why did you decide to go that route rather than just making a purse just for yourself?
Well, I was finding out there was nothing out there like that when I do, they would have the fanny pack ones, but I wanted something that was practical, useful, and you could use it every day as an everyday bag and look stylish and last forever. And I had so many customers, hair customers, that everybody wanted one, and it just started evolving from there.
Yeah, that I think that's really nice when things happen organically like that. It was just kind of word of mouth, I guess, how it got started.
Correct.
And then now you've expanded your line. So now you have airline carriers and the pet owner's purse, which is different than the original pop bag. Tell us about those different styles and why you decided to add more styles.
Well, the airline carrier, somebody had asked me for and I do most of my a big majority of my selling on Instagram, and so with talking with people, is they were tired of a bag that was plastic and just would fall apart, and they wanted a nice airline bag so it had the mesh, and we love creating that. It's every detail is incorporated into it.
So, what are some of the special details you have on the airline carrier?
The airline carrier has a luggage handle, so it slides over the handle of your luggage, um, and it has mesh on the side and the mesh on the top, which zips up. It's made out of the same organic wax canvas, which holds up very well. Has the pockets inside. We've added some zippers for security reasons. And the mesh on the top actually rolls up, and we have straps that hold it back. And you still have your emergency leash.
Yeah, and I've seen the pet carrier. Unfortunately, my dogs weigh 70 and 80 pounds. So I would need a really big carrier. But I have seen your carriers, and although I'm not an expert by any means on those kind of things, it looks just like a tote bag, so it's nice. It's not something that looks like when I was growing up and we used to take our cats to the vet and we would have to shove them in this horrible carrier bag.
Right, exactly.
What you've created, like you can actually carry it around and nobody would think anything of it.
Exactly. And so from the airline carrier, the pet purse has evolved. And now that has a little cutout for the dog's head. It zips them in. And that's just meant for, going out to a restaurant, a bar, bringing your dog with you.
Right, or just going on errands with your dog.
Yeah. And it's cool because both dogs, I actually have 2 dogs. We have another one, also her sister, but they get in those bags and they just fall asleep. You wouldn't even know they're there.
Yeah, that's so sweet. It's like their little home. They feel safe in there.
Exactly.
So, you've been in business for a couple of years with the pop bag, and you mentioned that you sell a lot of stuff through Instagram. So, I was wondering what your most successful way to sell your bags is it through your online shop or in person at a store, or if you do pop up markets? What is proven to be the best way to sell them?
I do some shows. I try to keep them local. I like supporting the area. My biggest seller is through Instagram, which now is a wonderful, avenue to direct people to your website. We've sold right now. I've covered 26 states, including Hawaii.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
aiming for 50,
Yeah, that's a great goal. I love that. It makes it kind of fun too.
but we do a lot of the local craft fairs. I do the New England Pet Expo. That's one of my biggest sellers. With the personality and talking, it's easy.
Yeah, and probably letting people see things in person too helps.
Exactly. And we do a lot of custom orders, and I find that custom orders are, more through Instagram and the website.
Do you find that doing custom orders is kind of difficult to manage, or are you making everything to order anyhow, so it's not a big deal?
I have a good size inventory for people that can just order offline. But the custom orders people really like is it's made, it's taking and making a bag for them, special. So different colors outside, different colors inside, maybe a little tweak here or there. Not difficult at all. I love being able to help somebody else or supply something that they enjoy.
Well, so speaking of all the different colors and everything, you have really nice materials. So you mentioned that you use organic waxed cotton and you now have vegan leather that you added. How do you source your materials? Because as someone who dabbles in sewing, I
Hmm.
think it can be hard to find nice quality fabrics that you like, and especially ones that are, sustainable and animal friendly as well.
The wax canvas I was lucky enough to find through Etsy is a woman in Texas. She actually hand dips the canvas in beeswax,
Oh,
triple dips
wow.
it. So it's all, it actually smells like honey when I receive it. Um, so just doing lots of research. Same with the vegan leather, which we just added. Again, I want it sourced my supplier at least out of the United States, and I do a lot through Etsy.
And so, like, when you're buying fabric through Etsy, do you usually, email the person and kind of build a relationship with them at all? Because,
Oh,
it is so nice to have like that small business community, I guess.
exactly. That's what I look for is other small businesses that help each other, and so I do a lot of communication. Um, the wax canvas woman, Jill, she's fabulous. We have a very comfortable relationship, so I can ask her a question anytime. The vegan leather, like I said, it's new, but the woman I'm working with now is phenomenal. I still love being able to support another small business.
Yeah, and it's so nice to be able to have someone you can call or email, I guess,
Hmm.
and get that kind of personal attention. That's what's different about working with small businesses than, big made in China productions or something. Do you ever discover a fabulous new tool to run your business and wonder why you didn't know about it sooner? That used to happen to me all the time. Luckily, through this podcast, I've asked over 100 women what their favorite tools, apps, and resources are to run their pet industry businesses. I put their recommendations in one place, and I'm so happy that I can share that list with you. Discover over 150 apps, tools, and even the best squeaker to get the perfect doggy photo. It's all in the Wear, Wag, Repeat resource guide. The guide is totally free. Just go to wearwagrepeat.com/guide and you can get your paws on it. So the pop company is part-time for you, and I'm always so interested to whenever I talk to someone who, it's so hard to tell online when you see something because it seems like you put a lot of time and effort into this. And so I was surprised that it was part-time. But you also do other things, like you mentioned you're a hairdresser. Do you have any advice for people on how to manage your time juggling all these different responsibilities and jobs?
So, with my hairdresser, I've been doing it a long time. I have wonderful clientele. I've owned 3 salons, so I'm very good at managing my time. I get up early, 5 o'clock,
Oh,
and
wow, that's very early.
yeah, it's what we do up here in Maine. The sun goes down earlier too. Um, Lists, I make lists constant. I have an ADD personality, so I'm also very when I'm interested in something, I'm very focused and I'm able to spread my time around. I might be blow drying somebody's hair and thinking of, something I need to do for the pop company, but my attention's still there with them.
I'm sorry, I just lost my train of thought. As you were saying that, I was also kind of like, oh, what do I have to do? You got me going down a
my
rabbit hole.
my favorite is driving in a car, and I have a half an hour ride, and it's a beautiful ride, and that's where most of my work gets done mentally.
Yeah, I know. I actually I don't really have to drive in my car, but I walk my dogs,
Hmm.
and we usually go for like an hour-long walk every day. And I love listening to podcasts because I get so many ideas. But then I have to stop every block to take notes on my phone because I've gotten all these ideas as I'm just walking around.
One quick thing. Also, one thing I have done. So now I've supported our local community. I've added cottage sewers, we call them. So
Oh,
I I personally am not sewing anymore. I'm doing the marketing and running the business, photography. I'm the model, taking care of the dogs, therapy. So, but I have right now I have 4 sewers, so they make the bags. I do the designing, and they're fabulous women. They sew from their house, which is a great concept. It's comfortable for them, and it works wonderful.
yeah, that's such a wonderful way to support other women too.
Hmm.
And they can supplement their income by picking up some sewing jobs. So did you kind of create the patterns and then provide that to them or kind of work together so that they knew what to make?
Pretty much, I come up with the pattern and the design. I'm not a designer pattern maker, so I have the concept. I have one particular woman that we work very closely together, and she can tell me she has the technical skills to tell me if it will work or if it won't work.
That is so important to have someone like that
Hmm.
because there's a million great ideas out there, but then you find out it's like really complicated to execute.
Exactly.
So another way that you give back to the community too is by working with your local animal shelter. So you give a portion of your profits back to your local animal shelter. And can you tell us a little bit about that shelter and why you chose to support them?
Oh, yes. Actually, it's not a shelter.
Oh,
It's an organization that helps pet owners with their vet bills and feeding in the look because we're in a very rural area. So, if somebody's short on money and they can't buy dog food, they'll contact this company. It's a wonderful, wonderful organization. It just supports this area in itself.
what a great cause. What is it called in case someone wants to look it up?
It's called Hardy's Friends, and it's based out of Gouldsboro, Maine. Wonderful people. They're fabulous.
Yeah, what a great cause. You don't hear about too many nonprofits like that. But I think that a lot of people end up giving their dogs up to shelters because they can't afford vet bills or things like that. I just was talking to someone about that the other day.
Exactly. And that's why that it's so important. Um, Amazing how many people I see drop by and their bags of dog food that they're giving to them. it's not always just about the money. We love being able to write that check at the end of the year, but we do a lot of raffles and donations and support for them.
Yeah, how that's so wonderful. What a great organization. I'll have to look that up and learn, see if there's something like that in my area too. Tell us about your dogs, because you have Harley, of course, who's now the therapy dog, and then you mentioned you have a second dog as well. Tell us about them.
Yes, so Brady is the second model. A friend of mine had met Harley and said the next litter. I would like one of theirs. So we got the sister. She got the sister a year later, and had her for a number of years. Unfortunately, my friend has passed away. So
Oh.
Brady has come into our life in very bittersweet. The sisters like being with each other, but not so much. They act like sisters. So now if you go on my website, you'll see Brady is more the model. She's taken over the role. And I took her to Pet Partners, and she is now a therapy dog also.
Oh, nice. They look like a lot of fun, and they do look alike. I can see that they're sisters.
Yeah, they're sweet dogs, both of them. And they both go to the salon, and they give customers therapy every day.
Yeah, that is true. That I actually started going to a dentist specifically because he brings his dog to the office. And the dog will sit on your lap while you're getting your teeth cleaned, and it's just like the greatest thing ever.
Oh, absolutely. I love that dentist.
So Lisa, tell us, I'm always curious, especially since you juggle so many things. You mentioned making lists helps you stay organized a lot, but are there any other kind of apps or tools or a book or anything else that you use to stay organized and run your businesses? Because you've got multiple things going on.
Yep. As I use my iPhone for my notes, photography, editing, Snapseed, I love. It's one of my favorites. It's fabulous. Audiobooks, I listen to podcasts, as I've listened to a number of yours. iPhone, iPad, are the two biggest things. But as far as apps, I just got a Pivo, which is a great photography tool for anybody on Instagram who wants to play around with something.
What is that?
It's a little, you put your iPhone in it, and it will follow you. There's a number of I'm still on the learning curve with it, but it's a really cool new product that just came out.
Yeah, I think I've seen actually an Instagram ad for that. That looks really cool. Do you like it?
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm still on the learning curve. It's the whole, oh, wait, no, didn't do that right, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to play with.
Okay, I might have to get this. What's it called? A Pivo?
Pivo.
Yep. Okay, I'm going to have to look that up because I really want to do more videos this year, and it looks like that really makes it easier.
It does. It does. It's so many cool things with it. I can't even explain. Like I said, there's a learning curve, but it's fun.
Yeah, well, I know. And sometimes I think I only tap into like 1% of the capability of the technology. Like our phones can do so much, and I really only use it for like the camera and the calculator.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really cool. So I'm going to have to check out Pivo. That's a really good tip. Well, Lisa, it's been so fun having you on. I hope that everyone is inspired to check out your products and what you've done. I think it's really innovative to take an idea and, most importantly, to solve a problem that you are firsthand having and that many other people are obviously having, and your product sort of solves that problem for them. So tell us where we can go online to find the Pop Company.
Well, I'm on Shopify. The Pop Company, it's the-pop-company.com. And I think I'm on the top of the Google search now.
Oh, good.
It is fabulous. You can find me at Instagram, the Pop Company 00, Facebook, Pop Company 00.
Oh, great. Awesome.
And
well, thank you so much.
You get to see photos of these beautiful little dogs. They wear sunglasses, hats. They're the best models ever.
Yes, it's like you come for the purses and you stay for the dogs.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, everyone go check it out, and you can even order a custom style if you're interested. You can have Liza create any color combination that you want, I guess.
Correct.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Tori. It was wonderful. Say hi to Lucy and Bert.
Oh, I will. What did you like most about this episode? Find me on Instagram at TMystic and let me know what intrigued you or what questions you have about starting or growing your own dog-inspired business. You can also screenshot this episode and tag me in your stories. I love to see who is listening out there. Some of the best conversations happen after the episode, right? So track me down over on Instagram or join the Wear, Wag, Repeat Labs Facebook group to connect with other dog-obsessed entrepreneurs. And as always, you can find all the links and resources discussed in this episode at wearwagrepeat.com/podcast. See you back here next week.